Have you ever felt like no one notices the things you do? Like you could disappear and nothing would change? This is a story about a boy who felt that way every single day. But sometimes the smallest act of care can teach us the greatest lesson. Before we dive in, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for all your support. In a quiet village surrounded by wheat fields and apple orchards, there lived a boy named Finn. He was 10 years old and helped his father on their farm. His father was a tall, quiet man who rarely smiled. He looked past Finn most days, always thinking about the next task, the next field to plow. Finn kept a small leather journal hidden beneath his bed. Inside, he wrote lists in careful handwriting. Every time his father broke a promise, Finn wrote it down. Father said we would go to the autumn fair. He did not come. Father promised to teach me to fish. He forgot. Father said he would be home for my birthday. He stayed in the fields until dark. The pages filled slowly, one broken promise at a time. Each morning, Finn woke before dawn to help with the work. He scattered grain for the chickens. He carried water from the well. He pulled weeds from the garden. His father worked beside him in silence, never asking how Finn slept or what he dreamed. When the work was done, his father would walk to the barn alone, and Finn would return to his room to write. One evening in late autumn, Finn found a dying apple tree at the edge of the orchard. Its leaves had turned brown and fallen early. Only 3 wrinkled apples hung from its branches. The other trees stood tall and full of fruit, but this one seemed forgotten. Finn stared at it for a long time. He saw himself in that lonely tree. He began to visit the tree each day after his chores. He cleared the weeds from around its roots. He carried buckets of water and poured them over the dry earth. The tree did not change. Its bark stayed cracked. Its branches stayed bare, but Finn kept returning. He spoke softly to it as he worked, telling it things he could never tell his father. Winter came and the journal grew thicker. Father said he would fix my broken cart. He has not. Father promised we would visit Mother's grave together. He went alone. Finn's handwriting became smaller, trying to fit more words on each page. He wondered if other boys had fathers who kept their promises, or if this pain was something all children carried. The cold months were long and gray. Finn still visited the apple tree, now covered in snow. He brushed the snow from its branches gently, like tucking it in for sleep. The tree stood silent and still, neither living nor dying. Finn understood that feeling. When spring arrived, something unexpected happened. Tiny green buds appeared on the dead tree's branches. Finn noticed them one morning while carrying water. He stopped so suddenly that he spilled half the bucket. He set it down and touched the buds carefully, afraid they might disappear. They were real. They were alive. Day by day, the buds opened into small, pale leaves. Then came delicate white blossoms that smelled of honey and rain. Finn visited the tree every morning and every evening, watching the change with wonder. He had given the tree nothing but water and attention, yet it had chosen to live again. One afternoon, Finn's father walked past the orchard. He saw the boy kneeling beside the tree, now covered in blossoms. He stopped and stared. "I thought that tree was gone," he said quietly. Finn looked up, surprised. "I thought so too," he replied. That night, Finn opened his journal to write another broken promise, but his hand stopped above the page. He looked at all the words he had collected, hundreds of small hurts preserved in ink. Then he looked out his window at the apple tree, silver in the moonlight, covered in blossoms. Finn closed the journal without writing. He walked outside in his nightclothes and stood beneath the tree. The spring air was cool and smelled of growing things. He thought about all the water he had carried, all the weeds he had culled, all the days he had returned even when nothing changed. He had not done it because the tree promised him anything. He had done it because something in him needed to care for something. The next morning, Finn left the journal beneath his bed. He did not open it. When his father asked him to help mend a fence, Finn worked beside him quietly. He no longer waited for words that might not come. When the work was finished and his father walked toward the barn, Finn did not watch him with sad eyes, measuring the distance between them. Instead, Finn returned to the apple tree. He sat beneath its blossoming branches and felt the sunlight on his face. The tree had taught him something without speaking. It had shown him that some things grow not because they receive promises, but because someone chooses to tend them anyway. By summer, the apple tree bore fruit. Not many apples, but enough. They were small and sweet, better than the fruit from the other trees. Finn picked them carefully and brought them to the house. His father took one and bit into it. For just a moment, something softened in his face. Finn never wrote in the journal again. The pages of broken promises remained, but they no longer grew. He had learned that keeping count of what he did not receive had made him smaller, but caring for something without expecting a return had made him larger. The tree continued to bloom each spring, and Finn continued to tend it, not because it would give him anything, but because he had discovered what it meant to give freely. Sometimes we spend so much time counting what others fail to give us that we forget to plant our own garden. Finn discovered waiting for love can make us bitter, but choosing to give love can set us free. The most powerful thing we can do is care for something simply because we choose to, not because we expect something in return. What would you do in Finn's place? Would you keep writing or would you start planting? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching.